How's it going, guys, and welcome back to BL Thieves Forgotten, the series where I take a look at underused and not often talked about pieces of gear to determine whether or not they deserve to be remembered within the modern meta of the game or should be left behind and forgotten. And today we are taking a look at the Crossroad. If you like to farm the Crossroads for yourself, you're going to want to fast travel over to the Splinterlands on Pandora, specifically taking the Chop Shop fast travel station and heading over to the left towards the Chop Shop where you can find a save station where we'll be resetting from. From there, head into the Chop Shop and follow along the path until you see Big Donnie and his Big D spawn, where you just have to kill Big Donnie as he is the one of the two that is able to drop the Crossroad. The Crossroad is a legendary Hyperion SMG able to roll in any of the elements and firing 3 projectiles per shot in a 6-round burst at 2 ammo per shot. The Crossroad has received a couple changes, initially being nerfed, having its projectiles lowered from 4 to 3 and a reduction to its accuracy, but much later got a 50% weapon damage increase. Before I get into things here, I'm going to point it out now so no one else has to. I'm probably going to refer to this as the Crossroads with an S because that's what I thought this was called forever, but apparently not. Apparently it's just Crossroad, no S. But the Crossroad probably received the nerf. This is the nerf that I feel like almost everyone knows about and is always brought up, more than the Flak nerfs, more than the Tediore nerfs. This is the one I see the most. During the early days, the Crossroads was probably one of the most popular guns in the game. It was up there in the top of the meta, if not at the top of the meta. This was Launch BO3's version of the Free Radical and the Plasma Coil if either of those guns were enjoyable to use. But between its accuracy being gutted and losing an entire projectile, that absolutely annihilated this thing. The Crossroad fell off the face of the fucking earth after that nerf, and afterwards the only time I ever heard it brought up was in relation to it being nerfed. This is why I say this is probably the most recognizable nerf, because if you are a new player and you spend any time anywhere in the community, at some point someone is probably going to mention how good the Crossroads used to be. So certainly it's not forgotten, but it's also certainly not used very often anymore. But how is it in the modern day? Well, you certainly wouldn't think it from everything I had just said or again being anywhere within the community. However, it actually still performs pretty damn well. It does fall off a little bit at True Guardian Takedown, but it still definitely feels functional. It just sometimes feels a little bit slow to kill, mostly because of that burst fire. However, taking it down below True Guardian Takedown, it functions across all the other content in the game incredibly well, definitely making it better than many other guns. And especially on True Maliwan Takedown, this thing fucking shreds. And this is definitely thanks to that 50% weapon damage buff, because I promise you this was not a good gun prior to that. But at this point in time, the Crossroads does work across a majority of the content in the game, and it's still pretty damn fun to use. The only thing I'd say is currently bad about it is that accuracy, and you can definitely feel that nerf. While the damage output is fantastic when you're trying to kill an enemy with a smaller hitbox beyond a medium to short range, it is incredibly difficult as you're pretty much guaranteed to not be landing every single one of those 3 pellets. So while damage-wise, I would say that this is by far the best on Moze and Flak since they can really abuse the multi-pellet nature of the Crossroads through Short Fuse and Megavore. Zane is also really fun with it because he can really tighten that spread on the projectiles through Mana Focus and make it far more effective at longer ranges and just absolutely pelt all those projectiles straight into an enemy's dome, with Amara probably having the least amount of specific character synergy with it, outside of it just being okay with Indiscriminate because, again, the multiple pellets. Overall, though, while I do definitely agree that the Crossroads probably was due for a nerf at the time, I think nowadays, had it stayed exactly as it was, it would still be a pretty damn good weapon, but not nearly as broken as it once was. And with that, it is definitely a shame that it has lost that 1 pellet, and I really wish it didn't. But even being overall in a worse state than it once was, the Crossroads still performs incredibly well and is still an incredibly fun weapon. But that's gonna about do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all of that. I will be live right after this video goes up right here on YouTube and also over my Twitch channel, where there will be a link to down in the description below. And just under that is a link to my Discord server where you can come and join and hang out. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.